Oh yeah, you bet your butt. We are going to be unboxing and reviewing another Egyptian figure from the TBLeague PHicen series. Why, hello folks, Danoby2 here, and thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour. On this episode, we are going to be entering the world of TBLeague, specifically the Egyptian line that they've done so well, taking creative control, creating their own specific Egyptian line on the gods. This one here is Month, Deity of War. This is the golden edition. They typically are doing a silver edition and a golden edition. I love gold, so we are going to be reviewing the gold edition of Month. And when it comes to TBLeague and the Egyptian line of their expanded characters, it's all about the experience for what you're getting. And I gotta say, I love it every time I get to unbox one of these Egyptian characters from their expanded universe, I like to put it. There's just a lot. There's a lot to unpack. This one I got direct from KG Hobby, Hong Kong, for $1.70, and I ended up getting Horus from them as well too. Horus was about a few dollars cheaper. Horus gives you a little bit more value because with the Horus you get the extra head. This one does not though, so they kind of skimp out on the female version versus the male version. They give you a little bit more bang for the buck. This is the first, I want to say, of the PHicen female bodies that they're using that is dark skin, that is black. And they decided to, I guess I want to say, play it safe and announce it to the PHicen collector world in a Egyptian alternative version here. This is one of the hands there, because Month, the Deity of War, is based on the half human, half falcon or eagle hybrid, since that's what they were known for back during the Egyptian times, where they would take animals and use the heads, swap them out. I love the fabric and like the etching, the paint on this, and the weathering on it, and how it's kind of blended in. That's wicked. that is some wicked work on there. The way the fabric is blended in to the actual head of Month there. Month, a deity of war. Month was the falcon-headed deity of war in ancient Egypt, often appearing together with Horus, before overshadowed by the patron of god Amun. Month was a prominent and important deity in Thebes. I don't know what model of female PHicen body this is. If you guys know, put that in the comment below. I think it's one of their earlier female bodies. And now, I love the attention to detail with the calf bandage and the armor, like the shin guards and all that stuff. I'm not digging the falcon hands and the falcon feet, and I get it. I understand that she is a god, Egyptian god, and she's a blended of animal and human. But for me, look at that Egyptian cotton. Look at that. For me, I would have preferred more of a human servant or a human female priest, garnering the Egyptian fashion, and having the falcon head more as a mask. So in this unboxing review, I will be doing a little bit of modifications. For those of you who are not aware, the PHicen bodies are wrapped in a silicone body inside with about 42 points steel frame articulation. So there is tons of articulation that you can do with a PHicen, and I'm just testing out the joints and so forth, inspecting that is the chest armor, the breast chest armor, and the belt, the ceremonial dress belt with the skirt. I love that weathering on that on the Egyptian cotton. I really believe they did a really good job on that. something about the hands. If you look at the hands, and it doesn't seem like it's in proportion to the body. And I understand that, though, especially the feet there. I mean, it looks like she's wearing like costume shoes. Is it just me? Like with the Horus body and the muscular build with Horus, it just seemed to flow a little bit better. I with the female version of a month Deity of War, I feel, at least in my, since they've taken a creative liberty, I would like to take a creative liberty, and I'd like to portray my month Deity of War more as a human Egyptian priest. Expecting a line here. The white coating on the body it's more of a powder to keep it from getting tacky and sticky. When the bodies absorb a little bit too much moisture, they tend to not get pleasant to the skin if you're articulating it or posing it and so forth. First impressions, it's nice. I mean, it's a beautiful. I really wish they would introduce the black female body in the regular PHicen lines. If it was up to me, I'd have a rainbow version of PHicen female bodies. I'd have like a red skin version, so I can kit bash like an American Native Indian version. An African version would be phenomenal. Like every type of skin tone, I really wish that PHicen would take the leap of faith and experiment with that. Now we have the what is this here? Also the gauntlets, the Egyptian jewelry gauntlets. There, I will be using that. The ceremonial Egyptian neckband, I will definitely be using that. And then the gold band is part of her crown, or the headpiece. So I'll be attaching that at the end. And then we have the arm jewelry bands, the arm bands there. So one in each hand. That's cool. A little attention to detail on there. What else we have here? And then underneath, the scepter. And we have the machete, the Egyptian ceremonial machete. Very nice paint application. It's up to par. I mean, this is the quality with TBLeague PHicen is it's very competitive. If anything, I feel it. They take more pride in their stuff versus other third-party unlicensed companies. Ceremonial scepter there, the detail, the paint etching. It's beautiful. Love it. There you go. No, it looks like it was metal, but it's not. And then her cloak, and the Egyptian cloak there, it's a little bit thinner, less material than the Horus. The Horus actually had a wire that was embedded into, so you can get some more posing. Now what you're looking at here is that yesterday I took some surplus feet from a PHicen female body and some hands, and I painted it super black. And I wanted to start off with the darkest color first, because it's always easier to lighten it versus paint it in a lighter black shade color, and then it wouldn't match. So I can tell here already that the hands are just a lot darker than the actual body. So what I'll do is that I'll wash some of the powdered coating off the body, and then I'll add some powder to the hands to lighten the hands. So I'm going to darken the body, and I'm going to lighten the hands to try to get somewhat of a decent blend. Just a little bit of baby powder. I used a special matte black paint, and when you coat it in light baby powder, it tends to lighten it up. You just have to brush off the excess baby powder. I'm going to remove the talons feet, and I'll put those in storage because I'm going to modify month Deity of War. I'm going to have her more as a human priest, and I'm going to add some female feet on there, and I'm going to go with the tiptoes there to give her more of that sensual, exotic look, so to say. It tends to work, and even though the matching of the paint isn't exactly 100%, I will write it off as a ceremonial paint. So as she's getting into her costume to summon Horus. And here we go. Got the armbands on there, a little kept up by tension. I do like the gauntlets, though. I do like the Egyptian gauntlets on there. That's pretty cool. And the little skirt there too, with the Egyptian cotton and the weathering of the cotton. Very good. The feet, add a little bit more powder, kind of blend it in, and the hands don't bother me. They're one tone off from the body, so that's okay. It's just I'll chalk it off as makeup that she's wearing. I'll get the Egyptian neckband on there, and this is something that I just, granted, if you just decide to get your own version of month, if you decide, because there's two versions, there's the gold and the silver, you can create your own I mean, you can go with what was advertised and have her as the half human, half falcon eagle type god, but for me, I would prefer more of the human wearing a mask, and she's an Egyptian priest conducting a ceremonial burial, or she's conducting a ceremony to scare away the locusts. There she has the machete, the golden machete that she's going to pass off as she's summoned Horus from the netherworld, that she'll be able to pass off to him. I like it. I really do. I wish her cape was a little bit thicker compared to Horus. Horus seems to be a little more quality. See, I don't mind that the male PHicen here, Horus, is more of a true Egyptian otherworldly god. It looks better. It just feels better. Even Anubis here, as he acts like the guard to the gateways between worlds, it just works better. And then having her as just a human wearing a mask works better too. And I ended up cutting off the breast armor because it comes on and off. If I want to display her without it, I can do so. Same thing too for the ceremonial belt. I ended up just cutting it, and it stays on with a little bit of poster tack. It stays on just fine. If you don't want to pose it with it, you don't have to. It gives me the choices. I ended up liking the ceremonial belt with the red jewel in the center of her belly button right there, and just having her topless with posing right next to Horus, to me it just looks exotic. Looks very cool, giving it that Egyptian flair, which just works. So, PHicen, if you're out there, TBLeague, I would love just a regular female PHicen that I can kind of kit bash and create some other alternatives into to females. This is cool. This was fun. I dig her. I'm loving this line. I also love Court of the Dead. Love that line that TBLeague has partnered up with Sideshow. So this stuff here, I'm eating it up for the value and for what you get. It's worth every penny. Like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Let me know if you are planning on getting your own month, a Deity of War.